Okay, so this is going to be probably, hopefully, a one-take video. I've recently bought myself one of these larger burrs on a 1/4 inch shaft, and I don't have a tool that will take a 1/4 inch shaft. This is a Kutzall one, a rotary burr. I think it's their coarse one. We'll see how coarse it is in a moment. It really is quite a weighty thing. Other 1/4 inch shaft tools you can get, and also 6mm ones, are made by Saban-Smith. So obviously that means I need a new tool. Well, here's a clue that I've got a new tool with. You can see a couple of collets here and a couple of spanners. Yes, the new tool I've bought is an electric die grinder. I don't have a compressor powerful enough to run an air tool one, so I've gone electric. This is made by a company called Kutzall. It was about £23. Now, whether it lasts a long time or not, well, that remains to be seen. If you want to buy a reputable known brand, Makita make one of these, and that will cost you about £110, I think. Right, the collets are 6mm and a 1/4 inch. I think the 1/4 inch one is the black one. Yep, that looks a little bigger. So we'll slip that inside and put the nut on. Now, the cutter, it says put at least half the shaft in the collet. Well, I can easily get at least half the shaft in. So just tighten that up. Now, the irritating thing is that you're going to need 2 spanners to tighten this up. So gripping it with one and getting the second spanner and just tighten up. Okay, so that's done, that's installed. Let's put this other collet out of harm's way with the spanners and the Kutzall box. And get this out of the way. And I just happen to have in my chuck a piece of beech. I'll just bring you in a little bit closer so that you can see this. Now, this is a first time I've used it. I've not plugged it in and tried it at all. We're going to see how I get on with it from the start. Face protection, ideally respiratory protection. I'll stick a dust mask on. All my other respirators are out of the shed at the moment as I'm trying to get a little bit more organised in here. Right, on we go. With the dust mask. I will have an extractor running as well. There we go. Oh, glasses. And plug the tool in. And move the tool rest out of the way. And turn on. Let's see what we've got. Okay, that is a very, very nice tool to use. It seemed quite powerful in use. Got a bit of scorching with the first one where I held the cutter there in one position for too long. But just starting to make some wide flutes, and they do need a little bit of refining. They're a little bit lumpy. One or two of them are better than others. But for getting some large texture on wider pieces, I think 1/4 inch tools is the way to go. Now I'm indebted to two people for this. The first is Chris Parker, the board turner, a good friend of mine based up in Lancashire somewhere. Hope I've got that right. Check him out if you don't know his work. Really does some fantastic colouring and fantastic texturing. I asked him what was this tool he was using when I saw him at the Tudor Rose Woodworks at Daventry event earlier this year, and he said, I can tell you what it is. It's a die grinder. So that's where I got this information from. And second person is a woman called Sherry who lives in Canada, who I went and had a couple of days workshop and some touring of Canada with her and her husband and a friend of theirs who had some 1/4 inch shank tools and didn't know really whether she was going to keep them. But maybe if you're watching this, Sherry, I think you should get a die grinder and keep them. I can see this is going to be a lot of fun to use. Yeah, okay. So I'll put links in the description for the tool and for the cutter and for some alternative cutters. And if you have any questions, observations, comments, then please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.